All right, Algebra 1.5 is talking about translating. So we're basically going from words to numbers and variables and vice versa. So to do that, we got to know what the keywords for each operation are. Okay, so there's always kind of a most important one, but then they're all important because they all might be used. Okay, so for addition, we have the most important is going to be the sum. Okay, the sum is kind of like your, if you find the sum, that means find what they all are together. Okay, and another one is total. So finding the total amount of money means you're adding the money together. Finding the total amount of people or whatever it might be, you're adding it together. And then an obvious one is plus. And then another couple that you might not see as much but might come up is something like increased by, or increases by, or even more than. So 7 more than means you're adding 7. 5 more than means you're adding 5. Okay, so that's the sum. Now looking at subtraction, we have, just like the difference, we have, just like the sum, we have the difference. Okay, the difference means subtract the two. Okay, and again, another obvious one is minus. Okay, and something like instead of increased by, we have decreased by. If something decreased by 7, you're subtracting 7. And then these last two are kind of special cases. So something like less than. And I'm going to star this because these two are called turnaround phrases. So anytime you see these, they are subtraction, but you got to switch the order. So for instance, if you have something like 5 less than something, it's not 5 minus. Okay, that's wrong. If you have 5 less than something, like 5 less than 12, it's 12 minus 5. 5 less than 12 means you're subtracting 5. Or 5 subtracted from 12 isn't 5 minus 12. It's 5 subtracted from 12, so 12 minus 5. Okay? So that's something we'll have to kind of practice a little bit more. So multiplication. Again, the result of a multiplication problem is called the product. So the product of something is for multiplication. And another obvious one is times. Okay. Now, this one you might have seen before. Of comes up like I have 10% of 3, or 10% of the money means you're going 0.10 times that money. Okay. And then things like twice. Okay, twice means 2 times. Okay, twice means times 2. Or double, something like double is also times 2, or triple, which is times 3. Okay. So times 2/3. Double, triple something, you multiply by 2 or 3. Okay. So the last one here we have division. So the result of a division problem is called the quotient. The quotient. Okay. Now, another one that, well, let's do the obvious one first, actually. Divided by. Now, one that's not so obvious is separated, or separate. So separate into 3 groups means divide into 3, divide by 3. Separate into 7 things, we're dividing by 7, okay? And then something like half means divide by 2. Half of something, you divide by 2. A third of something, divide by 3. Okay. So there's your key words. Okay. Now, a couple special cases. Parentheses phrases. So if you see these, if it says the product of or times the sum, hold on. Times the sum of, okay, that's automatically put that sum or that addition problem in parentheses. Okay, times the difference. Okay, when you multiply by the sum or multiply by the difference, that's like when you're going to have to distribute, something like that. Okay, and then finally we have turnaround phrases. So turnaround phrases are where we need to switch the order. So we already said this, but less than, okay, less than or subtracted from. So when you see those two, you got to turn it around or put it in the opposite order. So 5 less than means you put 5 at the end. 5 subtracted from something means you put the 5 at the end, minus 5. Okay, so here we go. Let's look at let's just look at the evens today. Okay, so the difference. So the difference is minus the difference between a number and 10. So when you see a number is the variable. So you can pick your favorite letter and choose that as your variable. So I'm going to go ahead and choose x. X is my favorite variable. Okay, so I'm going to get x for my number. So the difference between a number and 10 is just x minus 10. Okay, that's it. Now, for number 4, subtracted, let's just do number 1 real quick. The product means multiplication of a number and 3. So I'm going to go 3 times x, or just 3x. The quotient, that's division. So x and negative 5. So x divided by negative 5. You can use this symbol for division, but it's not going to be used all that much. So I would really suggest using the fraction bar. Okay. So the next one, 4 subtracted from a number. So this is one of those turnaround phrases. Okay, so 4 subtracted from a number is not 4 minus x. This is wrong. 4 subtracted from a number means here's your number, you're subtracting 4 from that. There's our answer. Okay, and then we'll just go ahead and finish up with number 6. The product means multiplication. A number and 10, so that's 10x, increased by 1. Okay, so that's kind of a combination. So these two, a product of a number and 10, that's 10x. And then increased by 1 is adding, so plus 1. And there's our answer. Okay, so let's go to the back side here. So we have 4 less than a number squared. So again, less than means it's a turnaround phrase. Okay, so I'm putting this at the end. So minus 4. 4 less than something is minus 4. And then we have a number squared is x squared. So x squared, or a squared, or whatever letter or variable you want to use. Okay, and then let's go ahead and keep going on this left side. So the sum of twice a number, the sum means plus, the sum of twice a number, so that's 2x. So 2x plus the sum of twice a number and 10 is 36. So this is an equal sign, equals 36. So 2x plus 10 equals 36. And that's it. We don't have to solve right now. We can just go ahead and write it out. So same thing here. 4 times a number, so that's 4x, divided by 8. So 4x divided by 8 is 3. And there we are. Here we have 1/2. So we said 1/2 on the other side is like dividing by 2. So 1/2 of a number is like x divided by 2 is 8 less than the number itself. So is 8 less than, remember, is at the end. So we need to end with -8. The number itself we already said was x. And there we are. 1/2 of the number, so x divided by 2 equals 8 less than the number itself, so x minus 8. And then finally here, 15 decreased by the quotient of a number, and 3. Okay, so let's take that one thing at a time here. 15 decreased by, so 15 decreased by is minus the quotient of a number, so division, of a number and 3. A number and 3, so x divided by 3 is 20. And there we are. Okay, so let's go ahead and go through this right side, and then we'll be about done. So twice a number divided by 5. That's 2x divided by 5. So 2x divided by 5. And then let's just look at these last two, and then we'll be done. 3 times the difference of a number. So 3 times the difference. Okay, this is one of those ones where we got to put that in parentheses. The difference of what? A number and 7. So x plus 7 equals 18. And there we are. 3 times the difference. And here's another one. 5 times the sum. 5 times the sum means 5 times something where it's added. Of a number and 6 is 48. Okay, so those two are really important to understand. Okay, so we're going to talk about this stuff later, so we don't really need to talk about it right now. Inequalities are going to come later in the chapter. So at this time, you can go ahead and get started on the worksheet if you have that. Or really what's more important is for you to get a better score on your knowledge check. If you have anything below a 7 on your knowledge check on Canvas, go back to that and take it again. Try and do better, okay? So those are the things you have to do. Go ahead and get started, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace.